Indians program in Salem, Tamil Nadu.
And Supreme Concept of Hinduism has been continuously enriching thousands and thousands of people. You can see in all of these photos how many thousands of people have been attending and being blessed and initiated by the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. And each one was being prepared for the Sadhyatra to save them from this pralaya and to ultimately give the superconscious breakthrough to humanity, so that the Supreme Concept of Hinduism could do the re-energizing process of the 12 Jyotirlingas. However, the anti-Hindu elements made it nearly impossible for the Supreme Concept of Hinduism to do this re-energizing process by driving the Supreme Concept of Hinduism out of India.
வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். நன்றாய் தெரிந்துகொள், சொல்வதைப் புரிந்துகொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாதயா செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள். என்ன நடக்க முறையாக அகிலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடிமிடும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாதயாத்திரை செய்த பிறகு மட்டுமே நீ அங்கு செல்ல வேண்டும். அதுவரை உன்னை காத்து செல்லாதே. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
And the translation of these revelations made by Devi Parashakti, that the pralaya in India will only end when the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is once again received in India with great reverence and respect, and as the head of the nation of Kailasa. And only when the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is able to do the Padayatra and the re-energizing process of the 12 Jyotirlingas will this pralaya end in India. As we look around, we see so much of, we see what the great.
So in the Kurma Purana, sage Vyasa echoes the Rishi's declaration, and it mentions that Kali Yuga is the worst of all the 4 yugas, where man will be his worst enemy. So in the Kurma Purana, a few verses says, Idam prapta papanuvartina bhavishyanti mahapapa varna shrama vivarjita nanyat pashyami jantunam muktva varanasi sarva papa prashamanam.
The translation of this verse, this Kali Yuga is the worst of the 4 yugas in all the world. People are sinful and forget the dharma of the 4 varanas and 4 ashramas. In fact, men are so sinful that no prescribed penance atones for their great sins. The only place which is free from such sins is the great sacred city of Varanasi, the Mahapuri.
Lord Rudra himself, Lord Rudra, who's Paramashivoham himself, is the avatar of Kali Yuga. It says, Brahma Krita Yuge Devastretayam Bhagavan Ravihi Dwapare Vishnu Kalo Rudro Maheshwara.
And the translation of this verse, Brahma is the presiding divinity or Devata. In the Dvapara Yuga, the 3rd cycle of time, the presiding divinity is Vishnu. And in the Kali Yuga, the 4th cycle of time, the current age, the presiding divinity, the avatar, is Rudra, Lord Maheshwara, Mahasadashiva himself.
And on the 22nd of January 1978, out of his deepest compassion,
and if Supreme Pontiff, if Paramashiva had waited even one more year to take the Nijavatar of the Supreme Pontiff, it would have been too late. 1979 would have been too late. Let us now watch that revelation made by the Supreme.
And I tell you, O Hindus, don't be afraid. I am back. It is not lost. I have happened. (1979) would have been late. I would have sent only ambassadors. Because no time, I have to get up and come directly. Feel blessed, safe, and establish its legitimacy.
and the Avatar's advent on to protect the world from the cause.
Let us now listen to Devi Parashakti's revelation.
ஓம் 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 உலக மக்களே கேளுங்கள். கலி முற்றி கலி கழிந்து புதுயுகம் சத்தியயுகம் புறப்பட வேண்டிய காலம் வந்ததனால் வந்திருக்கின்றது இந்த பெரும் பிரளயம். கவலை வேண்டாம் மக்களே. நித்யானந்தன் வடிவம் தாங்கி நாமே இங்கு வந்திருக்கின்றோம். நித்திய யுகம் செய்வோம், நித்திய யுகம் சத்தியயுகமாய் மலரும் இங்கு. ஆனந்தமாக இருங்கள்.
Let us look at
Yes, we can go to the next slide. So the translation of what Devi Parashakti reveals on the 30th of April, she says, people of world, listen, Kali Yuga has matured and over. Time has come for Satya Yuga to happen. So this great Pralaya has come in the form of Nithyananda. I myself have come here. I will
tell Kidami Bojanam not to come to India 2020. I plan to do the Padayatra, get part throughout India in the 12 Jyotis.
Yes, and started to enrich people all around the world.
Person at a time with the truths from the sacred scriptures. And the
was just 14 or 15 years old. All his classmates recall the Yatra where they led them all from Gudiyatham, Tamil.
And when the son was around 19 years of age, all his fellow monks recall the Yatra that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism led them from Chennai, Tamil Nadu to Tiruvannamalai, his birthplace, giving them an unforgettable pilgrimage trip experience.
And the supreme point of Hinduism continued walking the length and breadth of India, reaching more and more people and preparing each one of us until the supreme point, preparing each one until the supreme point of Hinduism founded the international mission, the Nithyananda Sangha, to revive Kailasa internationally on 31st of December 1999.
And this was the first Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem in Tiruchendur, Tamil Nadu, of April 2001, 23 years of age.
And in 2003, the Avatar continued his Vijaya Yatra all over the world to enrich people from all backgrounds.
And with the Supreme Concept of this intensity and dedication to people, even among crowds of thousands who didn't understand the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, voice resonated deeply and present.
And in 2004, the Avatar led his disciples on the first.
Subsequently, the Avatar organized and led yatras.
And in 2006, the Pathayatras were taken to the next level with the Kodikan Ratha Yatra, with crores participating and impacted by the Nithyanandeshwara and Nithyanandeshwari deities traveling from city to city.
You can see a short clip of the
Yes, you can go on. Kodikan Ratha Yatra culminated with the consecration and inauguration of the Karma Mandir in Bangalore, South India. So here you can see the consecration and the inauguration of the deities in the temple. And the deities were energized as Archavataras to radiate the energy of Paramashivoham Parashakti to create the Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Paramashivam as a ship to save humanity from the upcoming Pralaya. So here you can see the supreme point of Hinduism has created innumerable spiritual energy centers in India as a safe havens during this great deluge. So here you can see one of the first Adinams, Kailasa and Tiruchendur, and then the Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Paramashivam in Bangalore, and then the Kailasa in Hyderabad. And in 2008, the Avatar also created and energized the Nithyananda Vaidya and the Ananda Linga, which would protect anyone who bathes in its waters from the deadly Govind. Let us now watch a small.
जनमस्सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने जनमो गिरिशाय विष्टाय जनमो मीढुष्टमाय च शुमते जनमो स्रस्वाय च वामनाय जनमो बृहते च वर्षीयते जनमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्धने जनमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय जनम आशवे च जिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीघ्राय च नम ऊर्म्याय च वस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भाय च नमो च गण्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमः सोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः स्थान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवायताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रवृषाय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने च शुद्धिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णेतवे च इधिने च नमस्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमस्कृत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूप्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च भट्याय च नमो वर्षाय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईर्ध्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपामसोमाय च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयसाय च नमः शिवाय च शिवधराय च नमस्तीर्थ्याय च कूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वारधरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आतार्याय च लात्याय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुनस्तये च नमो गोष्ट्याय च गृह्
Yes, and in 2009, the Avatar held another Kodikan Ratha Yatra and garnered. And wherever the Avatar's feet have, yes, we can go to the next.
போல நின்பதம் சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு சத்குரு நித்யனே நின்முகம் நீனைந்து இங்கு நிர்மலமாக திறந்ததே நித்ய சத்குரு சத்குரு நித்யனே மற்றவர் கண்டு மறைகள் எல்லாம் கழன்று விசுத்தி அதுவும் அசுத்தியாய் பொறாமையோடிங்கு எரிந்தவையின் சேர்த்து விசுத்தி அசுத்தியானரே விசுத்தியை தீர்க்க விமித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே ஆமை பூகுந்த எண்ணகந்தினை பொறாமை பூகாது காக்கவே
And wherever the feet have graced the planet Earth, there the seeds of super consciousness have been sown.
So 1,000 plus Kailasa ecosystems worldwide, and the Avatar is the last hope for humanity.
And in the next several photos, which we will be going through quickly, you'll see substance that the Supreme Consciousness has established to protect people and to give them this beautiful enlightenment ecosystem. And here is the very first ecosystem established by Supreme Consciousness.
And then this is the Adi Kailasa Sarvagnapeetham in Bangalore, India.
And the Kailasa in Tirunamala.
Then the Kailasa in Columbus, Ohio, which was established in 2007.
Here are more photos of it.
And this is the Kailasa in Los Angeles, established in 2007, which is the headquarters of the West.
The Kailasa again in Los Angeles, California.
And then Kailasa in San Jose, established in 2009.
And here are more photos of the Kailasa in San Jose.
And then the Kailasa in Seattle, which was established in 2008. And then the Kailasa in Houston, Texas.
Here are more photos of the Kailasa in Houston, the Kailasa in New York,
and the Kailasa in Washington, DC.
the Kailasa in Toronto, Canada,
Here are a few more pictures of Kailasa in Toronto, Canada establishment.
and the Kailasa in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma,
And in the Kailasa in Phoenix, Arizona, USA.
the Kailasa in St. Louis, Missouri,
And then the Kailasa in Oman,
the Kailasa in Dubai,
then the Kailasa in London,
the Kailasa in Scotland, UK,
and here you can see the Kailasa in Netherlands,
the Kailasa in Slovakia,
then the Kailasa in Belgium,
the Kailasa in Slovakia,
Kailasa in Luxembourg,
the Kailasa in Austria,
Kailasa in Germany,
the Kailasa in Italy,
and here you can see the Kailasa in France,
the Kailasa in Switzerland,
then the Kailasa in Mauritius,
the Kailasa in South Africa,
Here you can see the Kailasa established in Salem, the Kailasa in Salem established in 2006.
here are more photos of the Kailasa in Salem,
Then here is the Kailasa in Hosur established in 2008.
and here is the Kailasa, the Kailasa in Rajapalayam, more photos
Here are a
of
few more pictures of Kailasa in Rajapalayam established in 2008. And then the Kailasa in Hyderabad.
the Kailasa in Kerala, the Kailasa in Gujarat, the Kailasa in Alankulam,
And the Kailasa in Chennai, Tambaram, India.
the Kailasa in Avadi, Chennai, and the Kailasa in the Kailasa in Singapore,
And here you can see the Kailasa in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia established in 2008.
Guadalupe, South America.
Of Kailasa with thousands of sannyasis with no discrimination against caste, creed, and religion.
The Supreme Concept of Hinduism has initiated thousands into Nithyananda spiritual healing, who are actively healing millions all over the world.
To the Kailasa.
The avatar, honoring the hard work of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism and the revival of Kailasa, silently preparing each one for what was to come.
And in 2017, devotees in Malaysia planned the Padayatra and executed it successfully, with thousands participated with the dying in the population of Malaysia reinvigorated.
Do the Padayatra out of their sincere devotion and love for the avatar.
1 billion e-citizens, 26 plus years of humanitarian services, and 1 billion free organic nutritious meals, serve 47 cities and 196 countries across 6 continents, and the world's largest university was established in the US, in Canada, and UK, France.
Yes. And Kailasa is the world's greatest digital Hindu nation with over 1 billion views. And you can connect with us on any of the various social media platforms, including Twitter, Facebook, and many more. And of course, you can also visit kailasa.org, nithyananda.org, nithyanandahinduuniversity.org, Supreme Concept of Hinduism, and all you too become a part of. And of course, you can constantly stay connected, constantly be surrounded by the teachings of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, by the enlightening teachings and blessings of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism itself. So now, with this, we will be concluding this portion of the program, and you can continue to stay connected with us through these various platforms and ensure that you are enjoying and experiencing all of the gifts that the Supreme Concept of Hinduism is giving to the world by reviving this whole enlightenment science. You can visit any of these, concluding this portion of the program. We'll be entering into the next segment where we will be, yes, we can go back to the previous slide, please. We can go to the previous slide, please. We can go to the slide with the Twitter handle. So you can stay continuously connected via these platforms. So yeah, we will be concluding this portion of the program with Devi Parashakti. As all of us know, Devi and the Supreme Concept of Hinduism have been continuously making themselves available for each and every one of us. But the few are just overflowing in gratitude for the Divine Cosmic Mother, for happening in your life through your very own Guru. You can and each and offering a way to show each of these just a small gift to say I love you to Devi Parashakti, just to you for happening in your life.
Let's now see the various offerings we can make to Devi Parashakti as we get ready to receive her darshan today. The offerings to Devi Parashakti is a gift of pure love, devotion, and oneness. It is not made out of fear or greed, but as an expression of our lands. The offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out for the enlightenment. And next, as we get ready to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti, let us contemplate on this dhyana shloka. Remember the grace and splendor of Devi Parashakti through this dhyana shloka. First, from the Moolagama, Manonmani Dhyana describes Devi's grace. Rapaya Japakshara Sarayuktam Angahima Bhushana Vichitra Vasanam Syat Tungama Kutojvala Manonmani Swarup. The translation, and one hand with Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another Dhyana shloka on Devi Parashakti describes Dhyaye Devim Trinetram Shashini Bhavadanam Veda Hastam Dadanam Savye Padmam Varadam Aparepayam Chakshamalam Divyaira Bharanair Vibhushit. The translation for this verse, it says, I meditate upon Devi as glowing like a moon and holding the Veda lotus and gracing with blessed auspicious boons for all actions every day. Is used in abundance in the worship of the divine, in offerings and rituals for the divine, and in temples. Let us now see the significance of this divine element of gold as described in a verse in the Atharva Veda. This verse describes Tredajatam Janmanyamagnirekam Priyatamam Babhuva Somasyaikyam Insitasya Parapatata Apamekam Veda Samreta Ahutatte Hiranyam Trividastavai Vishe. The translation for this verse, triply born by birth is this gold, from the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apat, the watery molecules. Let that triple gold be for your long life. Gold is a divine element in the Hindu tradition. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of great spiritual significance and spiritual power, of healing and enlightenment. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears it and in anyone who sees or operates in its beauty. Gold is present in scriptures in the Hindu tradition, the Agamas, the Vedas, Shrutis, the most auspicious and purest metal, which purifies our being in the Hindu civilization. Everything was built in gold, exchanged, and fees were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as it were built with huge doors of gold. Streets would have huge columns and archways made of gold. The horses and cows were dressed in gold. The Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranmaya, the river of gold in Rigveda. The river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartini in Atharva Veda. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years and it lasts forever. So let us now see the various traditional offerings that we can make to Devi Parashakti today as we get ready to receive her blessings. The first offering is the e-hundi offerings, which can be made in multiple currencies and in any amount. Just as you would offer at the hundi in any temple in India, you can also make the offerings in e-hundi as you get ready to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti today, as your expression of your sacred sentiments to Devi Parashakti. And Devi is described as the one who's fond of true devotion. So let us see this verse which describes Devi's love for true devotion. It says, Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Kamya, Bhakti Vashya Bhaya Paha, Shambhavi Sharadaradhya Sharvani Sharmadaini. The translation of this verse of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion. If there's any fear in the minds of the devotees, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here it is meant the autumn of our lives when our thoughts turn more and more inwards. The role of the divine is known and understood clearly. The need for Devi worship then becomes stronger. Shambhavi is the consort of Shambhu, whose Lord of Lord Shiva. In the Linga Purana describes Lord Shiva as Sharma in his earth form. Sharmadaini is Devi who bestows happiness on devotees. And you can make this offering of the e-hundi in multiple currencies and in any amount that you would wish to offer as your kanika, your token offering of gratitude and sacred sentiments to Devi Parashakti on the website www.kailasamila.com/sevas.
The next offering that we have is the Sankalpa chanting, the offering of your conscious resolution. So before you start anything new in your life, or if you just want to manifest something, you always want to set a conscious resolution for what exactly you want to manifest. You always want to set intention for what reality you want to cause for yourself. And when you offer your Sankalpa at the feet of Devi Parashakti, you will be blessed by Devi's infinite energy to manifest whatever you want in your life. Right, the goddess stands in the universe, and she herself gives birth to this universe. You can offer your Sankalpa to Devi Parashakti and be blessed with the fruition of all of your desires.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sahasranama Swarna Kasu, gold coin inscribed with the who likes the repetition of her various names. And you can make this offering of the offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. So you can offer any number of coins. Each coin is inscribed with one of the 1,008 sacred names. And you can receive the blessings, imbibing the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, the divine quality with this offering. So you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamila.com.
Next offering is the Mukta Anguti, the finger ring with a pearl. And Devi is very well known to be adorned in pearls, very fond of pearls. And of course, the pearl represents the passion of Devi. In this verse, it describes, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown is garlands of pearl, and the base shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of the lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. So you can offer this mukta anguti, the finger ring of the pearl, and you can be blessed with Devi Parashakti, overflowing compassion in all efforts.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Padma Pushpa, a divine offering in the Hindu tradition. The lotus is mentioned in the worship of the divine in various Hindu scriptures. And this verse from the Kamikagama describes the lotus flower, the significance of the lotus flower. It says, Ashtavidyeshwaropeta Kumbhavarana Samyatam Sarve Sasutra Vastradya Hya Pankajapushitaha Tapidhanna Satcha Kurachascha Pakva Bilva Palaprabha Snapanadhyaya Samsiddha Samanvitaha. With a new cloth. They should be adorned with a lotus flower made of gold. And there are hundreds of scriptural references in the Vedic tradition for using the lotus in the worship of Paramashiva. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate, involving the consecration of the deities of worship or meditating on the mudras and asanas used during worship, involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, the lotus petals. The lotus is a divine flower in the Hindu tradition. The Shakti of Paramashiva is also called lotus. The base of offer the gold lotus in any of 3 different sizes, and be blessed to have the state, space, powers, and being of Devi Parashakti in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situations in life. So you can make the offering of the gold lotus on the website www.kailasamila.com/sevas.
Okay. And the next offering is the Varanamati, the gold toe ring. And in this verse, it describes the very toenails of Devi Parashakti. It states, you whose brightness from the toenails destroys the darkness of ignorance in the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet. You whose brightness from your 2 feet overpower that of the lotus flower. So you can offer this toe ring to the feet of Devi Parashakti and the Devi's infinite awesome.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Mamtika, the gold hairline jewelry. Devi is described as Sudasharabi Varshini, she who makes the nectar flow in all our nerves from the Sahasrara, she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. The Mamtika, the hairline jewelry, represents the nectar overflowing from the Sahasrara Chakra, which is fully opened with the sacred attitude. So you can make the offering of the Swarna Mamtika to Devi Parashakti and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful statitude and the space of complete completion. And you can make this offering on the website www.kailasamela.com/sevas.
Next offering is the Pratiksha Padapuja, the offering of the worship to the divine lotus feet of Swami, of your very own Guru, who's manifesting Devi Parashakti for each and every one of you. And in the Saundarya Lahari, it states that the nails of Devi have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of the celestial beings, who always prostrate before thee. Tamoguna is darkness, and in this Stotram, Namas is indicative of the ignorance in the minds of the devotees. And by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain that knowledge. So you can offer the Pratikshapada Puja and receive the blessings for the most auspicious and simplest path to enlightenment to attain the ultimate knowledge.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Vastra Seva, the offering of the sacred cloth to Devi. And this offering of the sacred cloth is a traditional offering as a token of gratitude for the divine protection during all times in our life. And you can offer the Vastra Seva today and be blessed with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and the Nijavatara, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhana, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And you can make all of the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. Here is a summary of the various offerings that you can offer to Devi Parashakti today as you get ready to receive her blessings. You can make the offering of the e-hundi, which can be made in multiple currencies and in any amount that you wish to offer. The offering of the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution Parashakti, which blesses you with the prayers asked and unasked. So the power of the conscious resolution is such that the divine prayers, Akasu, which is the offering of the pure gold coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti. And you can make this offering in 3 different denominations and any number of coins. You can make the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, also in 3 different sizes. But the gold lotus flower can also be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarnametti, the gold toe ring to adorn the grid lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. You can make this offering on represents the nectar overflowing from the Sahasrara. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. You can also make the offering of the Pratyakshapada Puja, which is the most sacred and traditional offering of gratitude from disciple to Guru. You can make the offering of the Vastra Seva, the offering of the sacred cloths to Devi Parashakti. All of these offerings can be made on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And here you can see the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And you can make the various offerings for Devi Parashakti as you get ready to receive her darshan today by clicking on the links on step 2. So if you would like to make the offering of the e-hundi, you can make the offering through this link. And if you would like to offer the traditional ornaments of sevas, you can click on the link on step 2 here. So you can make the e-hundi offerings in multiple currencies: the US dollar, the Australian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, the Canadian dollar, the euro, the Indian rupees, the Singaporean dollar, the Malaysian ringgit, the Great Britain pound, and the Chinese yen. And you can make the offering in any. It is your expression of love and gratitude to Devi Parashakti. Of the various ornaments. So you can make the offering of the Sankalpa chanting, the Devi Sahasranam, the Swarna Padma Pushpa offerings for Devi Parashakti. You can make all of these traditional offerings on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And if you would like to make an intention to make an offering and blessings of Devi Parashakti to manifest your intention into reality, you can submit the form on step 1. And once you've made your offerings and you want to make a conscious resolution for yourself and your family members, you can also fill out the form on step 3 with the names of yourself and your family members for the blessings of Devi Parashakti as the pujas and rituals are performed in Adi Kailash in the Nithyananda Paramashivam Devalayam in the Adi Kailash Sarvagya Pita. So you can make the various offerings and sankalpas, and your name is chanted during the pujas and rituals offered in the Kshetra of Adi Kailash. Celebrations happening in Adi Kailash as well and in all the Kailashas all over the world. You can also make offerings to Devi Parashakti through the various offered to Devi Parashakti during these 9 nights of celebration of Navaratri. So as we celebrate the happening of Devi during the Navaratri celebrations, you can also special on the special occasion. So you can learn more about all the sevas, the various sevas during Navaratri on this website by clicking on this link here. So do take a sevas and offerings being offered, the various rituals being offered, and for any of these offerings also. So with that, now we'll be moving to the next segment of this program, where we'll learn more about the various facilities being made available for the well-being of humanity through the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa and being of humanity during the pandemic. So let us now move.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to this segment of Kailasa's COVID care, which are Kailasa's embassies. With the blessings of Paramashivan's blessings, let's start with the Guru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasugadam Kevalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Rahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. So what we learn from this segment today concerning strategies for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, spiritual solutions for COVID-19, Kailasa's COVID care protection centers, some glimpses, and wide protection centers. Today, people around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The greatest economics of the world are facing disastrous futures. Countries are facing off each other in deep mistrust. Now let us see and the current news. Record high cases in Australia amid COVID third wave of COVID-19. In Australia, reported a new record number of coronavirus cases on Thursday when the country continues to battle the third wave of COVID-19 infections. There were more than 2,400 new locally acquired infections reported nationwide on Thursday morning, the figure surpassing 2,000. Health Organization on Tuesday said that the Delta variant of coronavirus has elbowed out all the three of concern that now represent the tiny fraction of the samples which are being sequenced. 18 to 1919 did. The coronavirus pandemic has now killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic, 0.65% with 675,000 deaths. COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of Americans and killed about 0.2% with 676 deaths. Now that the US death toll from COVID-19 has surpassed 618 to 19 influenza pandemic date. Associated Press both reported the grim milestone on Monday. So COVID-19 now officially US deadliest pandemic as the death toll crosses that of 1918 to 19 flu. People infected with the alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus into the air than the original COVID strain. According to a study, the University of Maryland researchers suggested the need for better ventilation, masks, in addition to widespread vaccination to help stop virus. The findings showed increased amounts of virus in nasal swabs and saliva. These major increases in the airborne virus are traveling through the air. 6 feet distance may not be enough to prevent viral transmission indoors. Distancing of 2 meters, about 6.5 feet, may not be enough to sufficiently prevent transmission of virus carrying airborne aerosols indoors, according to a study. The result published in the journal Sustainable Cities and Society suggests that the physical distance alone is not enough to prevent human exposure to exhaled aerosols and should be implemented with other control strategies such as masking and adequate ventilation. The researchers examined 3 factors: the amount and rate of air ventilated through a space talking. COVID-19 Delta variant is still most concerning, says the World Health Organization experts. Even with the emergence of the new COVID-19 variant, the Delta strain remains the top concern globally, appearing to outcompete others. Senior officials with the World Health Organization said recently. I think the Delta variant for me is the one that's most concerning because of the increased transmittability, said Dr. Maria Verkankove for COVID-19, speaking during an online question-answer session. It is doubly transmittable and compared to the ancestral strain, nowhere under control in the US, says the chief medical at Anthony Fauci. He said, right now we are still in pandemic mode because in an interview with Axios, the US has reported 40 million cases of COVID-19 since the outbreak of the virus, with other 4 million infections adding up in the past few weeks. Increase comes as the US earlier this month announced that it is planning to provide booster shots of vaccine as the Delta variant has become dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. The surge in Delta variant is driven by the low vaccination coverage in many communities across the US, according to the US Center for Disease Control and Prevention. In a country of our size, you can't be having 100,000 infections a day. You have got to get well below 10,000 before you start feeling comfortable, Mr. Fauci said. At Economic Forum, COVID-19 made the world less peaceful, but COVID-19 made the world less peaceful. COVID-19 violent incidences and fatalities, January 2020 to April 2021, the violent incidences related to the pandemic peaked in April 2020. Younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. Ages 18 to 24, about 56.2 affected, and ages 25 to 49, about 48.9% got affected, plus about 29.3. The average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety disorder and or depressive disorder January to June 2019 versus January 2021. What it was in 6 months period in the 2019 was 11%. In 2021, it rose up to 41.1%. Than the older adults. Stress in America 2020, a national mental health crisis. COVID-19 is a significant stressor for most Americans. Nearly 8 in 10, which is 78%, say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their life. Nearly 7 in 10, which is 67%, say they have experienced increased stress over the course of the pandemic. COVID-19 could exacerbate doctors' existing mental health bulletin. Healthcare workers have contracted COVID-19 and 300 have died. Of the health workers who treated, 85% showed signs of anxiety. Self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers before COVID-19 pandemic, what it 15% now rose up to 40.7% during the pandemic, and the anxiety levels were 29% before the pandemic, and now during this pandemic it is rose up to 72%. So it is important to address the COVID-19 pandemic, which is seeing another wave, destroying many more lives. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says the pandemic fatigue setting in as a result of continuous lockdown is resulting in delusional ignorance. Holding on to the delusion and supporting this space of delusional decision leads to delusional arrogance. So the global COVID virus pandemic has left the whole world desperately looking for answers. Life as it had been experienced even back in February 2020 is no longer recognizable. Drastic changes is the order of the day, with people having to redefine their world with a new paradigm of economy, society, faith, religion, and health. Blessed are those who have had the greatest fortune to be with the incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in their lives and to carry them through this crisis. So join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers, which are the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies, where the temple-based ecosystems are converted into multi-layer quarantine facility. Not only participants of these COVID Care Protection Centers enjoy the peace, bliss, all aspects of their life, the growth, but the main cases. So join the Kailasa's COVID Care Protection Centers with https://kailasa.org/. With this, we are going to move on to the next part of our segment,